My name is Danica, and today I wanted to recommend some Sapphic Christmas books. So after working retail in December for many years, I have discovered my personal method of survival is to just dive into celebrating Christmas and really embracing it, and that way I can kind of go along with the Christmas shopping rush at work, and it's not so stressful. So that applies also to my reading. And of course, whenever possible, I want to be reading queer woman books. So I thought I'd share some of the Sapphic Christmas books that I have read and liked, and then a couple that I've read and not totally liked, but maybe you will. And then I'll share one that is on my TBR and that I'm excited about. So my top one has to be Christmas Days, 12 Stories and 12 Feasts for 12 Days by Jeanette Winterson. And this is a bit of a cheat because only one of the stories really has any Sapphic content. It mentions her and her wife, but this is a very prominent lesbian author, and also the book is so good. I love the stories. They feel like these classic, timeless Christmas fables. I listened to the audiobook and it was really well done, and as soon as I finished it, I thought that I want to listen to this every year. It just has such a great feel to it. So this isn't like a lesbian romance or anything, but it is so good if you want something that's really Christmassy, and it does have at least one story that has queer woman content, and it's by kind of a pioneering lesbian author. A trope that I gravitate towards in December is the snowed in kind of classic romance trope. I always love those enclosed spaces stories. I think because they're so character driven, you really get to see who people are when they're just stuck in one place together. And for that, I have to recommend Fearless by Shira Glassman. This is a really cute little romance novella. Shira Glassman is one of my favorite authors and one of my favorite people. She's great. You should check out all of her books and her Tumblr and everything else. She has such a skill in making characters feel fully realized, like they are real people, and even in a novella, I felt like I got to really know them and care about them. This takes place at an all-state music competition, and it's one of the band moms and orchestra teachers falling for each other as they are snowed in together at this competition. If you're a musician or a big fan of music, that is a big theme in this book, but even if not, this is a really sweet little story that will not take long to get through, and it's very heartwarming. It's great for December. Next, I wanted to recommend Mistletoe Miss Hat by Siri Caldwell. The description of this makes it sound like it is very much just erotica, and that is a component of it, but it turned out to be a lot more in-depth than I was expecting. And it was nice to read about a relationship that is very established. These are two middle-aged women who have been together for many years, and it's them just kind of trying to regain a bit of the spark and having a little bit more passion in their relationship again. But you have that foundation of really knowing each other and really caring for each other and having already built a life together. As much as I like reading about YA and typical romance, which is usually 20-somethings, it's nice to read about women who are a little bit older and a little more established. They're also both in STEM fields, which is a nice thing to read about. You don't see a ton of romances where the women are scientists. So this was really fun and seasonal, but also surprisingly moving. So on to the books that I have read and that didn't totally click with me, but maybe they'll appeal to you. It Had to Be You by Claire Lydon. This is another novella. It's actually a free novella, so I'll include the link where you can get it. This is about Georgia, who is going to meet her much younger girlfriend, Millie, her family during Christmas holidays. So Georgia is 54 and Millie is 23. Because this is a novella, I can't say a lot about it without spoiling it, but there is a big age gap. And there's also another aspect about this that might make some people uncomfortable about when she meets the family. Personally, I thought there would be more melodrama, and I was actually a little bit disappointed that it wasn't more dramatic considering the premise. But it wrapped up really quickly and a little bit too neatly for my liking. But again, this is a free novella, so you can't really go wrong if you're intrigued at all, you can check it out. Another one, which is kind of that enclosed space idea, is Fresh Tracks by Georgia Beers. I've read a few different Georgia Beers books, and generally I really like hers, and this one I did like for the most part. It's about 7 lesbians in a cabin together celebrating just after Christmas, so it's not quite a Christmas book, it's the holiday afterwards leading up to New Year's. And I liked the characters, I liked their dynamics, it was a really interesting cast, there's a lot of different things going on. Unfortunately, there was just this one incident near the end of the book that didn't really get addressed, and it sort of soured it for me. It made the romance not appeal to me as much anymore. So it was a shame because I really liked the book for the most part, but there was just that one part of it that really stuck with me and I couldn't quite get past it. I will link my review at the Lesbury down below if you want to know more about it. And lastly, I have the first Sapphic Christmas book I read, which is Christmas Carol by Ruth Gogol. This is a lesbian retelling of A Christmas Carol, which sounds amazing, but I didn't think this one quite pulled it off. It felt like 2 stories mashed together, so there was the Christmas Carol aspect of it, which didn't really have a lot of lesbian content to it. There wasn't a lot that changed from the original, just like kind of the barest adaptation. And then there was kind of a lesbian romance tacked onto the end of it. They didn't really meld together. It didn't feel like one cohesive story. So those are the ones that I have read so far. The top one on my TBR is Season's Meetings by Amy Dunn, and this is a lesbian romance novel which sounds like it'll really appeal to me because it has not only the snowed-in trope, which we have already established that I love, but also a road trip element. And that's another thing that I guess it's kind of the same thing. It's still just that enclosed space together, but with a travel aspect. I don't know. I really like the idea of road trip stories. So this one got the Christmas element, road trip, and snowed in. I am all for this. I'm really excited to read it. I have also been working over the years to compile a list of all of the Sapphic Christmas books that I have ever heard of, so I will link the Goodreads list down below. There are lots more. These are just the ones that either I've read or really appeal to me, but let me know if you've read any of the other ones and you recommend them, because I want to read more. I want to save them up for every December because it's fun to have something that's seasonal. And that's it for this recommendation video. Let me know if you've read any of these or any other Sapphic Christmas books, and thank you for watching.